What is going on YouTube? My name is Dom, and I'm back. So I did take a little bit of a hiatus. Hopefully you guys noticed. If you didn't, awesome. But it's been about 7 months since my last video came out. I think it was January. Last one I think was Vanguard. And I took that period off. I don't want to go too much into detail, but essentially I went back to school. That's something that I'm still doing. But honestly, one of the bigger reasons why I actually stopped making videos was because Ghost Recon just kind of got stale for me. It got a little boring. The game didn't get updated enough, and the meta, the way the game got played started to become frustrating and repetitive when you're coming up against the same 10 people in any given night. So it just got a little repetitive. Now I'm actually back and reinvigorated mainly because of Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I'm not gonna lie, that game looks awesome. I can't wait to play it, and PvP is coming at launch, so hopefully they actually take care of it this time. But I'm also looking forward to Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Whatever your opinion is on Call of Duty, I'm looking forward to Modern Warfare because I think it looks cool, looks more tactical, looks different, but whatever. That may or may not be something that I'll bring to the channel, but Ghost Recon Breakpoint for sure. So one of the bigger things that I wanted to talk about in this video, because I haven't played Ghost Recon in such a long time, it's going to take me a minute to get back into it. And because of how close, Ghost Recon Breakpoint's coming out October 2nd, and then once that game comes out, this game's done, so that's it. So I'm not going to be doing any more map breakdowns, strategy breakdowns specific to this game, because it's just not going to make any sense. Those videos are going to have a half-life of like a week. I'm going to be focusing on things that are going to carry over into Ghost Recon Breakpoint, so like more mental things, more strategy-based, more skill-based videos until that game comes out. Now in today's video, I wanted to discuss something that I have never really touched on before on the channel, and that's going to be the quality of patience. I've kind of touched on it here and there, but today I actually wanted to put this argument and this debate to rest, because I get debated all the time on this in my own Discord. I've been debating on this for the channel for God knows how long. So I'm gonna try to put it to rest today. A little bit of background: in the period that I took off recently, I was playing a lot of single player games, but I was playing Call of Duty Black Ops 4 as well. And Call of Duty Black Ops 4, because it's a Twitch shooter, it's so different from Ghost Recon. It's not even on the same level. So when I finally got back to Ghost Recon, you learn to appreciate the things that you never appreciated before quite as much. If you catch my drift, I'll try to explain. So when you're playing Call of Duty Black Ops 4, the slowest, most tactical gameplay style in that game mode is going to be search and destroy. If you're not familiar, it doesn't matter. But anyway, in Search and Destroy, you're going to be killing people a lot faster than you even will in Ghost Recon. And then when you go into Ghost Recon, a fast game in Ghost Recon is slow as shit for a typical Call of Duty match. So coming in, you have to relearn some of the basics of the game. And one of the things that I had to realize and had to get back into the swing of immediately was the quality of patience. Now, when I refer to patience, it's always, when you talk about these concepts, it's always important. You have to put it in context, right? You can't just talk about the overarching quality of patience, because it's different for a context. It's different for any context. When you're going to be patient in Call of Duty, well, that says, okay, well, I'm going to sit in a corner for about 5 seconds before I move. That's patience in Call of Duty, right? It's a 5-second delay. When you're in Ghost Recon, patience means it's something totally different. So how I'm going to refer to it is the middle ground between passivity and aggression. All right. I'm going to refer to patience as smack dab in the middle. That is your balancing point for this context, and then you can take that into anything. So in Ghost Recon, that would mean like overall aggression would mean that you're trying to finish a match in 3-4 minutes. Under that, passivity would be you're trying to win the match in 9-10 minutes, pushing the draw. Patience would be somewhere in the 6-7 to 8 minute range. That's where you're looking to either wipe out the entire team, capture the uplink, or whatever the fuck you're trying to do. And that's one of the reasons I don't like Extraction so much, much because it puts, and sabotage, because it puts that time constraint on you of 6 minutes, when I think it can take a lot longer to actually flush out and divide and conquer in that way. So that's how I'm going to be referring to patience in this game mode. You're looking for the 7 to 8 minute, 6, 7, 8 minute strategy. That's where you're trying to win. That's the Goldilocks zone for this. Now, I get a lot of pushback, and the thing that I wanted to put to rest today was the idea of overall aggression as being a viable strategy. And if you guys have ever watched my videos before, if you've watched these ones, I am against that. I am against pushing. I am against that type of strategy, the 3-4 minute strategy. I'm against that. For numerous reasons, because it decreases the level of strategy that can go into any given match, and that is a fact. It's not subjective in any which way, and that's what I wanted to put to rest. So in the scientific community, there is something called the Speed Accuracy Tradeoff. It's called the SAT. You can go ahead and Google it. And this is a well-known, well-established scientific fact that the faster something has to take place, the less accurate and the less efficient you are at getting the right answer or reacting to specific input. So this should be common sense to anybody. It's like if someone asks you a trivia question, you know, and they give you a time limit on this, like 5 seconds to answer, then your accuracy is going to be way less than if you just have as much time as you'd like to try to answer the question thoughtfully. Of course, right? That's common sense. So when you're more aggressive, you're obviously taking the strategy component out of it. You're decreasing the amount of strategy that can be had in that game because you're increasing the time. You're decreasing the time that someone has to react to sensory input and to react thoughtfully. So you're obviously making the game more chaotic, making it less strategic. And I actually have a study that goes through the history of this effect, how it was studied, and you know what the physiological. It's like 80 pages. If you guys would like to check it out, it's down in the description. You can go ahead and check that out. But one thing that has to be taken into consideration is when you're talking about Ghost Recon, a 3-4 minute match. That sounds like, you know, that's a little bit of time to react. But given the type of game that Ghost Recon is, I would say that's not a lot of time to react. When you play Institute, when you play or not Institute, when you play Extraction or Sabotage, you're automatically in rush mode and you make mistakes because that's what happens when you're pressured for time. And it's the same thing that happens when a team acts aggressively. So acting aggressive is significantly less of a strategy. Well, it has significantly less strategy to it than acting thoughtfully and remotely. But also, just because you're playing slow and you're playing within that 6, 7, 8 minute range does not mean you're playing tactically. You could sit in the middle of in the corner of a building and have no eyes on any sort of map control. You're not doing anything, and that is not strategic at all either. So you have two extremes. You have defensiveness and then complete offensiveness. Those are less strategic than the middle point, which is going to be your patient point, a balance between defense and offense. But also something that I want you guys to keep in mind too is when I say that 6, 7 to 8 minute range, I mean that's totally my experience. That's my anecdotal experience after 1,500 hours of playing this game. That's the conclusion that I've come to. That's kind of my middle ground, my patient. You know, please let me know if you guys are thinking something different down in the comment section. I don't want this to be a fucking tirade. I'd like to have a dialogue, so please let me know. But this kind of carries me back. I mean, when I talk about patience, playing patient strategy, whatever. It takes me back to a specific concept in Taoism. So I'm DomOfTheDao, obviously. So I'm going to bring in some Taoism into this, which is something that I never really did before. But in Taoism, there's a concept, okay? And that concept is Wu Wei. I know it sounds mystical. I know it sounds funny. It sounds that Eastern meditation, yogi, Deepak Chopra type shit. But that's not exactly, not at all what I'm saying here. So when you're talking about the concept of Wu Wei, that means effortless action. It's action through non-action. It's what would be termed like the zone, when you get into the zone and you don't have to think about the actions that you're doing. You just do these. You're able to recognize things and do them instinctively. You don't have to think about your reactions or think about what you have to do. And that's ultimately the place you want to be at. That's where you're clear-headed. That's where you're thinking. That's where you want to be. I'm not trying to make this into some sort of self-help video, because that's not at all what it is. So however you achieve that, that's if you know, whatever that means. If that means you're playing drunk off your ass, but that's what it takes to get you to clear-headed, so be it. That's not what I've found in my experience. In my experience, I've always remembered this quote. When I was in EMT school, a lot of the people in there would say, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And that's a quote that I've always hung with me. And basically what it means is when you take your time and you do things thoughtfully, you are able to do them smoothly. And once you're able to do them smoothly, then you're able to master them. And then you can take it in and start doing them quickly and accurately. So whatever that may be. And this is kind of a short video, just sort of my experience to get back into things, but I am going to be coming back with more in-depth videos once I get back and playing the game more, trying to prepare for Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I'm super fucking happy to be back. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Any comments, ideas for future videos, whatever you'd like to see when the game actually comes out, go ahead, drop them down in the comment section. Always have a discussion with you guys and whatnot. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching the video if you made it this far, and I will see you guys in the next one.